Because joining us now from Glasgow is Michelle Thomson, who's Managing Director of Business for Scotland, campaigning for independence. And in Edinburgh, we have Daniel Johnson, a small business owner, campaigning against. Hello to both of you. Dan Johnson first, why do you not want independence?
I think the basic fact is this, is that Britain is good for business by having one system, one set of taxes, one set of institutions that the business have to deal with, one currency. It makes it straightforward and simple for businesses to do business. Independence, I think, puts that at risk. It just stands to reason. Having two lots of those things makes it more complicated for business, and that introduces cost for business. It's as simple as that.
Michelle Thomson.
Well, for a start, it's quite clear that economically Scotland is in a much stronger position. I think it's becoming much more clearly understood, and we in business and I appreciate understanding this information that one, Scotland's consistently raised more money per head of population, not just last year, but every year for the past 33 years. That's the second most favoured location for inward investment after London and the South East. That a GDP per head of population is higher, so there's significant opportunities to overlay in what is already a wealthy economy in taking control over the full range of fiscal powers. Opportunity abounds for business in Scotland with independence. The devolved Parliament's already done a good job, but we can do so much more. And I would point out as well that there is a level of clarity around which currency we use. It will be the pound. It's understood as fact in most of the business community now, despite what the politicians would say. So Daniel's concerns around that are not the case at all. There's the
okay, well let's just, Daniel, you're laughing to that.
Well, I just find it amusing that people that advocate for separating unions, who should understand that unions exist through mutual consent, don't understand the fact that if one half of a union doesn't want it, you can't have it. And since the UK politicians, since the Chancellor and the Shadow Chancellor are saying there won't be a currency union, I just don't understand why people like Michelle keep insisting that we'll have it when all the facts point to the reverse.
Michelle Thomson, you mentioned inward investment as well, and that's an interesting issue because, of course, and all of these issues overlap. European Union membership becomes very relevant there because there is an argument that if there is a difficulty with that, as some say there will be, that inward investment could suffer. That is why a lot of companies base themselves in the UK to get into Europe.
Well, that's a very interesting question as well. And of course, Scotland's continued membership of the European Union whilst remaining within the UK is much more at risk with the rise of UKIP. There doesn't really seem to be very many people left now who disagree that Scotland wouldn't continue to be part of the EU as an independent country. For goodness sake, the EU's all about expanding barriers. It's trade rather. It's all about allowing trade between countries, and Scotland brings a great deal to the European Union, in terms of its renewable energy, for example. I'd also like to just pick up that last wee point around currency. Let's not forget that it's Scotland's pound just as much as the rest of the UK. So the idea of a Westminster-based politician coming up and saying we can't use our pound is frankly ridiculous.
Daniel?
Well, I think first of all on the European point, of course Scotland would ultimately become a member of the European Union, but how long would that take? The argument being put forward by those in the yes camp is using a mechanism, using Article 48, that no country has ever become a member of the European Union using Article 48. It requires the consent of all the other member states if that's going to happen. And frankly, it's just unproven. So it's massively speculative at best. And at worst, I think there's real questions about whether or not you'd really conclude those negotiations with 18 months. So I think, and there's a good deal of scaremongering going on about the rise of UKIP and what the rest of the UK would do. The UK is part of the EU, and Scotland would be outside it and needing to argue its way in. Now, as for the currency, it just comes back to the simple point. If one half of a union doesn't want it, you don't have it. You need both parties to agree to it. It's as simple as that.
Michelle, is there, all of this does underline that there is it not fair to say that to a degree, if people are to vote yes to independence, you are asking them to, the charge is there's a leap of faith, but we've heard the word speculation there. People are having to decide which is most likely. Is European Union membership okay? Is the pound going to happen or not? And that is a difficulty for you, isn't it? present in these last months of campaigning, that those uncertainties will probably never actually be completely clarified. People have to make their own judgments on it.
Well, of course, we all need to make our own judgment. That's one of the reasons why I run my own business. I want to make my own luck by taking control over my life. I've largely, touch wood, managed to make a success of it so far. People will need to make their own judgment, but my point is, if you look at the fundamentals, the best predictor of future behaviour is past. If you're recruiting somebody, for example, we know that Scotland is strong both in its inward investment and its gas and oil and so on, and it will continue to be strong, but we can do so much more with these extra powers. And let's not forget, there's a big picture here. It's not just about the economy. We are a wealthy country, but not yet a wealthy society. When 1 in 9 of our children live in extreme poverty, that is simply unacceptable. When you stand in Aberdeen, look out to sea and see oil wells, and look inland and see food banks. And as for UKIP, sorry, it's just a statement of fact. They are in an ascendancy. It represents both a real risk to the EU and, to my mind, the fabric and the nature of the sort of society we want to see going forward.
Okay, Daniel, just in 10 seconds respond to that, but very briefly, please.
I just think it's as simple as, Michelle's talking about working on her own, and I think Britain's about working together. We create opportunities together, we share risks together, and we create rewards together, and I'd like to see that continue.
Okay, Michelle, Daniel, very interesting to talk to you. You have until September the 18th. Good to see you both still smiling. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.